Today on Cosplay Corner, we'll be making our rest of our diamonds and our bracelets. They are on her shoes, the bracelets are on her wrist, her belt, the diamonds are on her belt, and on her chest piece here. So what you're going to be needing is polymer clay. You're going to be needing it in like a reddish pink. All I had on hand was pink. You're going to need clay making tools, or if you don't have clay making tools, you could use a chopstick or a knife, a ruler, wax paper, which is right here on my table here, a tape measure, a flexible one, and a can in the size of your palm here. And you're going to need either a piece of foil or a pan that you don't normally cook food in, because clay, you don't want to cook clay in the food pan. So if you could find one like at a rummage sale, you could get that. Or if you don't have one of those, just use a piece of foil. You're going to take your clay, and you're going to take a chunk off of your clay, and then a half of one, and then you'll get a piece about this big, and then you're just going to condition it by rolling it out like this and then folding it back up. You're going to do that a couple of times to condition it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your tape measure and you're going to put it around your palm here. And mine is 8 inches, so you're going to find a can that is 8 inches. If you have a bigger hand, I recommend a tuna fish can. Or if you have a smaller hand, you could use like a small soup can or like a garbanzo bean can. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to roll this out. Like, you're going to make like a snake, and you're going to make it to the size of your can, so you're going to roll it out, get your tape measure, your ruler out, and see where you're at. I need to make mine 8 inches, so you're just going to constantly roll your snake out. Alright, measure it again. So that's about roughly the same sizes that I need. So you're going to take your can, and I'll show you what to do with that. You're going to take your can. We're not going to be putting on these ridges. If you do have a flat space on your can, that's good. So you're going to take your piece, and you're going to stick it on our can. Alright, and then you're going to press the seam together as best you can. And you're going to take either your chopstick or your knife, and you're just going to attach the end together. I'm going to get it across the top. Knife might work better for you if the chopstick's not working, or if you have clay tools, you could use that. And make it all smooth like this, and then you're going to push it, make it all even. And you're also going to press it up on the can. Alright, so you're going to stick this in your oven. It's for 15 minutes for how thick it is. I'm going to put mine in for 15 and then check it. And then if it's still soft, I'm going to put it in for another 15. And we'll come back. Next step is to take it out of the oven. Mine stayed in there for 30 minutes because it was thick. And you're going to loosen up your can, and you're just going to slide it off as best you can. So after you get it off the can, you'll have something that looks like this. Then you'll repeat the same steps and make another one. Or if you have a can like this, you could put one along the bottom and one along the top. But if you don't have something like that, you just repeat the steps and you make another one. If you feel that these are too thin, I will show you a method how to make them thicker. If you want thicker bracelets, if you want thinner bracelets, make them like the way I said in how to make them. And I'll show you how to make thicker ones if you feel that these are too thin. To make it thicker, we're going to make it like we did for our first part of our bracelet. So you're going to roll it out, the snake. You're going to place it around your can. And you're going to attach your ends like we did before. You got it smooth, you're just going to flatten this out. So you're just going to squish it down. Another piece of clay, and you're going to roll it out like we did with our snake. We're going to do it again. You're going to overlap where your seam was, and you're going to place this on top of your piece. And you're going to connect that end together. You're going to start flattening your second snake. And then once you've got that all pressed, you're going to take your tool and take the edge, and you're going to bring it one end down, and then you're also going to be doing that to the other side of your seam. Do that all the way around. Both sides pushed down. You're just going to push down a little bit to make at the lip. You're going to take it off the edge of your can to make it straight and even. You're going to do that to the bottom side. Or if you don't like that method, you can take your fingers and squeeze it like this. Alright, you're going to stick that in the oven and cook it according to the directions that are on your package for your clay. Or if you've got something similar to mine, it's probably going to be a half an hour, but it's 15 increments. So the time is 15, and then you're going to check it, and if it's still soft, then it needs to go another 15, and if it's still soft, it needs to go another 15. But it should come out at 30 minutes. Alright. I will show you guys how to do the diamonds. Are just like so these diamonds here on her feet, her belt, and her chest piece are just like the one we did in our first video, and how to make the hair accessory. If you don't like that version, I am going to try another version with craft foam. But if you like the clay version, you can do that with your piece. You're just going to need a bigger triangle that's about 2 inches. So cut a 2-inch pattern to make from your clay. And if you don't like the clay method, I'm going to show later on how to do a craft foam method. So if you decided that you are going to not make the rest of your pieces for our diamonds in the clay, You're going to need some craft foam. Here's some squares. I'll tell you what size these are in a bit. You're going to need eye protection, a respiratory mask, a ruler. And the reason why you need the eye protection and the respiratory mask is because we're going to be using barge, and this is very toxic. Or if you have a very well-ventilated area, you could go outside and do this. Alright, so our square size, our small square size is 2 inches. And our bigger square size is 2 inches and 1/4. Alright. I need a heat gun, but I'm going to be using an iron. But I prefer you guys to use the heat gun. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so you will be making the shoe pieces out of the clay because they're somewhat the same size as we made for our hair piece here. So if you want to make the shoe pieces, refer back to that video of making the hair accessory. But we're going to be making these diamonds here and the one that's on her chest there. The shoes will be the same size as the ones we did for hair accessories, so just refer back to that video and how to make those. Any kind of piece of tape, and you're going to stick it on the back of your square, and you're going to take you're going to glue it to stick it to your foam, and then you're just going to cut around this close to the edge and do that with this square here, and I'll show you what those pieces look like. So you are going to, if you have a heat gun, you're just going to warm this up. Seeing as I don't have one of those, I'm just going to stick it on my iron. This is going to be on a low setting, like a synthetic setting on here. So you're just going to place it on like this and let it sit there for a couple of seconds. Or if you have the heat gun, you're just going to warm it up, and then you'll have this glossy setting. I have my iron on rayon, so you're just gonna let it sit there for a couple seconds. This probably is not a good idea to do it like this, but this is all I got. It's recommended that you use your heat gun instead, but this is all I got. Alright, so we got the shiny bit here. And you're going to do that to your littler piece too. So what we're going to be doing is folding our triangle in half like this. And you're just going to put it on your heat gun, put your heat gun over it until it warms up, and then you can fold it. Or if you have the iron, you're just going to let it sit here for a few seconds, and then you're just going to press. You have to try to keep your fingers away from the metal plate, because you can burn yourself. Alright, we got that crease in our foam. So now we're going to take this corner to this corner and do the same thing. So we're just heating up our folded edge. You've got your fold, you're just gonna squeeze it in like this and take in the sections here. So you're just pushing it in like this and folding over the edges. And you're going to place this on your edge, or if you have your heat gun, you're just going to re-warm it up and press. Alright, then you'll have our diamond shape, and you are going to do this cutting out your shapes You're going to need about 3 of these sets. So repeat this 3 times with your other 2 pieces. So you're going to stick barge on one side of your piece here. You're going to let this dry 20 minutes to 15 minutes. You're going to do that to both flat edges. And then you're going to stick barge on the edges of your diamond piece. So just the edges. And you're going to do that to both pieces that you have, and you're going to let that dry. So once it's tacky, you could take it to your piece here, and we are going to be putting, try to not stack everything, and try to put the triangles on the triangles first. So we're matching the triangles by gluing them down like this. And see, then you're just gonna squish down the rest of your piece, and you're just gonna let this dry, and do that to your other one too. Make sure you are wearing gloves when you apply the barge to your foam, because if you do not, your hands will be not good, and it is toxic. So make sure you put some sort of gloves on so that you're not gluing yourself to your skin. Alright. After it dries, it'll look something like this. I've just taken some kiwi key seal and put it in the crevices so that when we paint this, it'll be slightly smoother. Alright, so we're going to paint this like we did for our hair accessory. So you're going to paint it in the primer, and then you're going to put the color paint of your choice on. So to match our piece, we're going to have to find a pink paint, acrylic paint. You're just going to paint your primer on. I'm using the Plaid FX primer for this. You're just going to paint this on. Now that you've got your couples of layers of your primer on here, you are going to take the paint that matches your clay. On the picture, it's like a reddish pink, but seeing as I used a light pink clay, I just mixed a little white paint in with the Plaid FX Smooth Satin. So you're just going to take it in the white with the white FX paint and the pink, and you're going to mix it together, and you're going to paint your diamonds. So whatever color clay you chose, that is what you're going to match these with. And you're going to let this dry for an hour, and then if you think it needs another coat, then you're just going to paint another coat. So after you've got your top dried, you're also going to be painting your edges. You won't need to paint your back because this is going straight up against a piece of fabric. Alright, so yeah, come back in an hour when these are dry for our second coat. They look like after the 2 layers of paint, and these are done for our project. Next week I will be making the belt for our cosplay. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye!